Servus from the Pain Cave and welcome back to stage 3 of the 4x4 ZRacing series. This time we're heading to Makuri Islands on Island Hopper, 18 kilometers, 130 meters of elevation, fast roads, one short climb and what looked like a poor sprinter stage. If you want the full route breakdown including equipment setup, make sure to check out my route recon video after this one. I'm lining up once again with a massive A-PEX VELO squad, 14 riders on today's start list, one of our biggest turnouts so far. We've got some really big hitters and 5 riders within the top 20 of the GC ahead of today's stage. And as expected, the advanced primetime field is stacked once again with some very fast names on the list. Watch out for Jan Iffert, Magnus Nielsen and some other strong contenders. So let's go, stage 3 is on and I don't know what to expect. I was a bit scared of that climb in the middle. It's just a painful one for me as a lightweight rider. It suits the heavy hitters with big raw woods, but let's see what will happen until then. I'm also waiting and hoping for the draft power up for the climb. That should give me a bit of a support to make it over the climb with the front. And we are reaching the first sprint arch here, 2 kilometers into the race, and let's see if I'm already lucky here, because I decided if I will get the draft power up, I will keep that for the climb, and I'm lucky here, so I will skip the next sprint arch. So if you're racing this later this week and yeah, you just want to have the draft power up for the climb, if you want to chase the guys, if you want to attack off the front, you might also want to have the aero boost. Gregory was having some issues here. You could see him like steering to the left. He had some problems with his Zwift Play controllers, and he also had to abandon the race unfortunately due to that technical issues. We are facing the first gradients here at this moment. I'm getting out of the saddle. The guys are pushing it at the front. So far we already have an average of 4.1 watts per kilo 5 minutes into the race. So it was a fast start, but not too crazy thankfully. And I'm just trying to manage here my effort. I had a rest day on Sunday. I reduced my volume last week, which felt good for my body. I felt rested. I didn't expect my body to be like in race mode today, but since I am racing Sisu Pinky the day after, that was my main objective. So I felt like this would be a good leg opener, and I just wanted to see what is possible, because if I survive the climb, anything is possible. But at the same time, my main objective at this moment is the Sisu Pinky Tour. Alright, we are reaching the Mech Isle climb here, 710 meters at an average of 2.9%. This is the first real test for the legs, and this is the first time I expect the best guys to accelerate and push the pace at the front. You can already see there's some strong guys at the front who are pushing it here. They're getting out of the saddle here, sprinting up that short hill. And yeah, I'm pushing here also 6.5 watts per kilo. Heart rate is climbing here already in the 180s, so I felt like my body is rested, and I felt like my heart rate is kind of really flexible, kind of like it was going up really quick, which is a good sign normally. So 185 beats per minute here, and I was not too much worried at this point. 69 seconds, my PB is at 65 seconds, which was like finish of the Zwift games I believe some weeks ago. So 369 watts and an average of 177 beats per minute. But there's no time to recover. You see some attacks at the front and we will head right into the main climb of the day, which is the Festival Harbor climb, 2.03 kilometers at an average of 2.6%. I am already pushing 7 watts per kilo, but you can see everyone is trying to get to the front, so I'm pushed behind here. Not really the best position going into the climb, but then I can make up some positions, get to the front and have like a good position here for that climb. I'm here at the very front of the field and I feel good so far. My heart rate is at 182, so I'm starting to suffer and we still have like a kilometer left to the top. But I feel like I can hold on to the front. I'm pushing 6 watts per kilo. Heart rate is at 185 beats per minute. Sitting down here at this moment and right at these like steeper gradients before we reach the flat section, I'm using my draft boost to hopefully make it with the front over the top, and so far it looks good. I'm also trying to fade a bit here, trying to do what is needed to stay with the front, and it seems to be like a big group will make it over the top here. I'm also here, next to me is Michael, my teammate, and some other strong guys are still here in that group. Martijn is also here, my teammate, and yeah, Carsten of course, and some other strong guys. Teddy is also right here, and Magnus Nielsen. So the big favorites are still in here, and I'm setting a new PB for the Festival Harbor climb at 3 minutes 8 seconds, an average of 334 watts. So yeah, just about like 5.5 watts per kilo, and everything is done here for now. So, and we are getting ready for that final sprint with 7.5 kilometers to go. We're reaching the sprint arch. And for the final, I also wanted to have the draft boost just because it lasts longer with 40 seconds compared to the 15 seconds of the aero boost. But yeah, I also decided if there's some attacks off the front, I will use the boost and see what will happen. Well, we got the aero boost, and I will definitely use that to see if I will get the draft boost for the last sprint arch. You could also see Drew Robinson is here, Superren is here, Jesper van Deusen is here, so really strong guys here. And yeah, Dragons are also like in great shape as always, so it's gonna be a super tight and hard finish at the end. 3 kilometers to go, and we see another few attacks at the front. There were some guys, Joaquin Roth, a Spanish guy who appears to be a former pro. I couldn't really find any records, and there is not really a lot of proof to him. But he was pushing the pace like crazy throughout the whole race. And yeah, I decided to use the power up just here before we cross the arch here to give me some help for that lead in to the final kilometers. And I got the draft boost, which is definitely the one that I wanted to have for that final 1.8 kilometers to go with more attacks at the front. Yeah, Joaquin Roth and VK, they're trying their luck there. I'm in a good position here with 1.5 kilometers to go. And yeah, just waiting for something to happen. And at the front we see a massive explosion from the legs of Magnus Nielsen, and we decided to just jump and follow him because he is a super strong rider. So Chris is there, Carsten is there, Martin is there. We're all trying to go with him here, close the gap. I'm pushing here 10 watts per kilo. Heart rate is at 191 beats per minute, 192. So I'm absolutely suffering here. We can close down the gap here to Magnus, and we're just hoping that he will go long and we can follow him. Carsten is also there. Magnus Nielsen is still pushing 10 watts per kilo almost. I'm here on his wheel, but then he decides to slow down in a second, I believe. And yeah, unfortunately we couldn't really create a gap. Like the peloton is still, it's one line, but they're still all together. And yeah, I'm also like, I'm absolutely done and dusted here at this moment. Heart rate is at 193. That's, yeah, above my max heart rate in the last couple of races. Unfortunately, I'm losing some positions here with 400 meters to go. I'm using my draft boost, trying to get out of the saddle, but yeah, I'm absolutely cooked here at this moment. Remco is flying past me. He's throwing in on the pedals big time with 14 watts per kilo. Hugo, Teddy, Michael all right next to me. We try to push it to the line. Less than 150 meters to go. I'm absolutely cooked, but I try to squeeze everything out of my body on these last few meters because it's a super close finish, and it's P25 for me in the end. Shout out to Remco, who finished in a strong 5th place. He is on a streak after finishing on the podium last week. Carsten finished in 12th, Michael in 20th, Chris in 29th, and Hugo in 31st. So once again, a good effort from all our team. That also shows in the GC. Remco in 7th, Carsten in 8th, Teddy in 11th. I'm in 14th ahead of the final stage, and Martin is sitting in 19th. But you can see it, the top 19 are within 11 seconds. The GC will be decided on Queen's Highway after party next week. It will be a hilltop finish, so that's gonna shake up the ranks for sure. My power chart is not too interesting, except for the kicks. It was a pretty controlled race, but the final 2 kilometers absolutely made up for it. And I could get to a max heart rate of 195 beats per minute, so my reduced volume last week helped me to give my body a bit of rest, it seems. Due to the long sprint, I could get some seasonal PBs for 90 seconds and 2 minutes. That's some strong power numbers there, which I'm absolutely happy with, but once again, I'm lacking explosiveness in such a hard final. Anyway, it was great fun to try something different this time out. Sometimes aggressive racing pays off, but unfortunately today it didn't. However, I feel like this month's series is great to try some other tactics. So that was stage 3 of the 4x4 ZRacing series. With my 2 minutes PB today, I'm ready for the final stage next Monday. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe and drop a comment below. It really supports the channel. Let me know, how did stage 3 go for you? Did you save it all for the sprint or did you try something early? See you in the next one. Cheers and ride on.
Remember to subscribe.